Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at injection protocol. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord, come check it out, it's free to join. Okay, so we obviously do not have a lot of data here for this, but from what we do have, we could speculate a couple of things. Either we can say that this move to the downside has completed into this low of this $1.13, or alternatively, it has not. So, with that in mind, what we could look at is two options, in my opinion, and they would be looking at this potentially as an A wave, looking for the possibility of a B wave to the upside and then looking for the C wave to the downside. So 1 to 1 off of this 0.618 would take us down towards this 41 cent range. So, sorry, 42 cent range. Basically, what I'm looking for here is the potential that we could just have this as a corrective structure to the upside, where this is basically a flat correction as was a W wave. This is an X, and then potentially looking for this Y wave to the upside. So Y wave 1 to 1 would bring us up here towards this $9.43. Some other key interesting areas here would be the 0.854, which would be here towards this $7.71, which would also be bringing us into this swing high here. This 702 is also quite an interesting area at this $10 range. Obviously, a very big psychological level if we do manage to get up there. Basically, I'd be keeping an eye on that as well. Potentially there is also, we could also, because if we want to look at this as a W, we could see something like this, A, B, and then C, and then look to push up into these zones. So this is what I'm keeping an eye on. There is a bullish potential here, but for as long as we remain below this $13 area, we need to just be careful of that potential for further continuation to the downside. So this is the bearish scenario. So we're going to go over the bullish scenario and what needs to happen basically for us to look for this continuation to the upside. Okay, so let's get into this. So basically, in this in this in this count, we'd have to change how we look at this. We'd have to change this to an A, B, and a C to complete into this low. Otherwise, this structure currently doesn't make any sense as an impulse at the bottom here. You could potentially argue you have something like a diagonal going on, but the structure is not very good here, and it is very overlapping and corrective in my opinion. So what I would look for then rather is that we actually complete into here, where this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is a 5-wave move to complete a C wave to the downside over here. So, like I said, there's a couple of ways we can look at this, so we just have to wait for the confirmation. So what I was looking for here then is that we could have this as a bigger 1-2 pattern, and then we're setting up for this bigger third wave up towards this $20.30. So the key thing here is if we actually drop back below this $2.46, this would invalidate this potential that I have here where this is a 1, 2, and then we're looking for that progression of ones and twos here. So I'm going to come down into smaller time frames here. Actually, before I do that, so the key zones here to pay attention to is this is a 1, 2. This 1150 would be typical third wave move. Now we're looking at that possibility that we're forming either another 1, 2 here, or we are within this third wave. And what we can get sometimes within these structures is they could look to extend to the upside, something like this, where we don't get a deep wave 2, and we get something like this 1, 2, then we start to progress up 4, 3, 4, 5, and then that takes us up towards this zone here. If we do actually look to push up towards this 1150 area, what I'll then be looking for is that potential of a fourth wave decline, and then that possibility to continue to the upside in a fifth wave. The key target we're trying to get to here is this $20.30. If we can manage to push up towards this zone, then we would be looking for that bigger fourth wave again, and then potentially, looking for that continuation to the upside. If we did have to get a move like this could potentially mean that we see a structure that actually develops up here towards this $33 range to this 24.62. Obviously, this is provided we don't get further extension between the waves and that the third wave is only at this 1.618. If we do get further extension, this third wave could push higher and we'd have to monitor it at that point. Okay, so with that said, basically what I'm looking for here is a couple of things. We could argue that, we're getting this situation where we're starting to extend up here and we've got some additional, extensions within these waves. the alternative to this would be that we have yeah, another 1-2 here. So basically what we do have to just give it a bit of space here and see, because there are some internals here that are making this quite difficult to count. And at the moment, what we need to be careful of is we just have, or even actually from here, we have a three-wave move down. Currently, we just have a three-wave move to the upside. We could actually still look to drop down back into this zone here of this 23.36 to this $1.40, sorry, $2.36 to this $1.62 area. And if we see something like this play out, where we get this as an A, B, and then we start to break down in more impulsive structure here, something like that. What we could then get is a move down here, and then actually this wave two just shifts over like this, and then we'd have something like a flat for a wave two. So yeah, we need to just be careful because we didn't quite come down to that 50%. So it is still on the cards that we could see something more complex here as a wave two in this position. And then we could actually look to progress to the upside from that point. So if we're looking for a direct push to the upside, what we want to see is this $3.63 maintaining. If we maintain this area and this lower support range here of this 5204 to this $4.11 range, potentially we could be setting up for this bigger push up here towards this $11. So let's go into the smaller time frames here, and we can discuss a couple of things. So this move to the upside here is quite choppy, and there's a couple of ways we can look at this move. So I'm going to just turn off the macro here for a second. The one way we can look at this is that basically we look at this move as a diagonal. We look at this as ABC for 1, ABC for 3, and then basically we're looking for a ABC for a fifth wave to the upside here. So the key thing here is basically within the structure, we don't want to cross the we want to cross the $6.71. And if we do that, then potentially, we could look for this as a fifth wave to the upside here. Looking for this as a diagonal, an expanding diagonal pattern here. So, this is something we're looking for. If we do manage to push up into this zone, that could then indicate that, we have a bigger wave one here, and then we'd be looking for that potential of coming back down and looking to find support lower down. There are other interpretations of this. Obviously, this move is developing, so we only have the information we have at hand now. Basically, what we want to see is to see whether we come back down and retest this zone of this $4.90 to this $4.13 area. If we do get a push to the upside here, so within the shorter term, what I'm looking for is that we could potentially have a 1-2 here. This is a third wave completed, and I'm looking for a fourth. So the typical fourth zone is the $6.27 to the $6.32. For as long as we hold this area, what I'm looking at here is I think we have a flat or some kind of a complex move going on here. We're going to get this as an A, a B, and then potentially a C wave down towards this, the $6.14 area, and then look for a push to the upside. If we do move down here and we maintain this support zone, potentially we could be looking for a push up towards this 673 to this 658 region. So this is what we are looking for here. 1-to-1 would be 1 point. So this would put us right into that 1.382. We've already crossed that 1-to-1. So currently we just have a three-wave move up here. We need to be aware that this could still look to break down from this current location. But if we do find support, I'll be looking for that potential to actually push up towards this 673 to the 658 area. So that would be potentially towards this 1382. If we do start pushing up past the 689, then we would have to look at the idea that we have a bigger structure forming here. So we're going to go over that now. Basically, within this, what we'd be looking for would be the potential. Actually, let me just delete this for 1 second. The potential that we have some extensions going on. So this is the alternative way of looking at it, is that we could actually be looking to extend to the upside here, where this becomes 1-2, 1-2, 3-4. We haven't completed, and we get a bigger push to the upside. Looking for this as a 1-2-3. So that's why I said the 689 range. If we do push up into this area, we'll have to start looking out for that potential of this fourth wave over here. If we do find we have another fifth wave to the upside here, move up into this zone. want to see if we get 3 waves back down into this zone again, find support, and then push up one more time for a 5th wave. If that does play out, basically, what we'd be looking for is continuation again. And if we came into that same zone there, our target area would be roughly, obviously this is depending exactly on how the waves form, but target zone could be up towards this zone of this $7.37 to this $7.07 area. So within this, this then opens up that idea that, we could see that bullish continuation here. But really what we're looking for is a much bigger move up here. Especially if we want to take this as a 1 and a 2 completed, then we really need to move up a lot higher. So if we want to look at that as a 1-2 completed, where we've had a shallow wave 2 here, really we need to move up past 13.17 for confirmation. So it's a long way up there. It is possible, but we need to just see exactly how these waves form within the structure here. The alternative thing that I'm looking out for, if we fail to, okay, so actually let me go over this quickly before we switch over. So I've got a couple of support boxes here. What I'm looking out for here is that there's multiple ways we can count this. We can look at this as potentially being in this 3rd wave. If it's not in this 3rd wave, what we could then have is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we look to actually come back down and find support in this zone of this 597 to this 574. So this would be based off of looking for another, so looking at this move as 1, 2, 1, 2, and then looking to push to the upside. If we lose this low of this 561, it would invalidate that potential of 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we would have to just look at the fact that maybe we've completed into this high and we're coming back down looking for support in this zone of this 590 to this 559 area. If we do find support here, basically what we could be doing is, if this is a shallow wave 2 here, what we could then be doing is starting to form additional 1, 2, 1, 2, looking for that bigger impulsive target towards that $13 range. So this is what we need to do. We need to maintain these lows, though. If this is the case, this $5.36 is a crucial point if we're looking for continuation here. The alternative is that we are not finished this wave 2. So if we aren't finished the wave 2, what we could actually see is something like this play out, where this is an A wave, we form a B wave to the upside. So we've come up to that 1.618, this A wave, which is quite high. Typically speaking, these B waves tend to reject off the 1382, but it is still within that range. So I am still allowing the fact that, if we do see a 5-wave move down here, what we could see is a pullback down into these ranges here. Areas of interest would be this 524. Obviously, that would be a retest of these lows here. That would be a 1.382 of this A wave. The alternative zone would be up here, this 536. This would be a 1236, and then finally down here towards this $5.05 would be a 1.618 of this A wave to the downside. So we need to just be careful because we don't have confirmed 5-wave structure here. Potentially this could look to just break down in a 5-wave move and even take these lows out. So yeah, we need to find support in this range here if we're looking for that continuation. If we do have a flat here, what I would be looking for is that potential to find support in this zone again here of this, actually, this support zone would change if that's the case, because we would have our high there. So if this is a flat, typical zones we could find, I'm going to throw this 382 in here. Typical zones we look to find commonly with a flat is this 382, which is this 4957 to this 467. So if we do start to break down in a 5-wave move, I will be keeping an eye on this area here, and really this whole support box, if it does look to extend all the way down to sort of this $4.04. If we start to lose that $4.04, we'd have to start to be careful of that fact that we could be looking for that bearish continuation to the downside, and we could look to start to break down and see some of those lower targets. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. As well as that, you will find affiliate links for both Primex BT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.